I love the opening night of the Civic Center, the very first show, Will Rogers Follies.
It had been a monumental gamble, leaving the only home Lyric Theater had ever known, exchanging its cozy venue on the campus of Oklahoma City University for the newly renovated Civic Center Music Hall. It was a stretch for the company and its core audience.
So we did this big survey of people all around town and all to see, should we go, should we not go? And wouldn't you know it, the survey came out 50-50. 50 said, we'd love to go with you. 50% said, no, we don't think we will. So there we were.
Did they come with you?
Yes. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Jeffrey Meek will never forget that moment of truth.
The curtain goes up and there's a huge staircase, and we were all so worn out being there because we had worked and worked and worked, and we had no clue if it was going to work. Here we were in this new venue, and were people going to come? And I know I get a little teary, but it happened. We created art.
It changed everything for Lyric Theater and ultimately for Oklahoma City's standing in the world of performance arts.
All of a sudden we had this beautiful new building that the city had given us, and the crowd was so much bigger, and we felt like the stakes were so much higher to bring it to a professional level that it needed to be.
That's not to say Lyric's standards had not been high from its inception.
This thing, Lyric, was started up 50 years ago with a vision of some of the city planners of Oklahoma City saying, let's bring Broadway to Oklahoma.
I love young people and middle-aged and old people staying with the theater, because inside of all of us is something that who or what wishes to express itself.
With its emphasis on the arts and its classic theater venue, OCU seemed like the Rogers to Lyric's Hammerstein.
It was a brilliant plan, one of the best examples of better together that I know of, and a partnership of two nonprofits creating something very good for the city.
I think the reason we were successful was we upheld standards, and then there were certain things that you just didn't do and certain things that you did do. And very simple things like being on time, and like knowing your lines, and like respecting your work.
Doing musical theater is a business, and that's what Lyle used to emphasize to the cast. We expect a certain standard, and that's what you brought to the theater. It was like, I won't say it was like going to war, but it was close.
Everyone at Lyric is very serious about what we do here. This is not like community theater where we all just get together and have a big party and hey, let's put on a show. No, people work very hard here and work at a very high level.
Like many others who've crossed the Lyric stage, Milena Govich has gone on to Broadway and Hollywood. But now, after nearly a decade of staging top-quality productions at the Civic Center, Lyric is luring Broadway back to Oklahoma.
The stuff we're doing here is getting a lot of attention nationally because of the high production values and the performers we're getting. So it's exciting to see people calling me all the time saying, hey, when can I do a show at Lyric?
Just this past year, Milena Govich joined Billy Porter in Lyric's Sweet Charity. Tony Award-winning actress Beth Lovell swept onto the Civic Center stage in a historic revival of the musical based on Oklahoman Pearl Mesta, Call Me Madam.
This quality is really good. You do amazing work. And it's like seeing a Broadway show west. It's like we took Broadway and brought it to Oklahoma City. And it's yours to experience down here.
But even with its success at the Civic Center, Lyric would still be limited to summer stock, if not for a second, even riskier gamble, the purchase of a crumbling theater in a down-and-out inner-city neighborhood.
We had to have floodlights to even get in, and you had to wear a hard hat, and you almost had to sign a release. And because at that time we didn't realize, but the whole wall had just really crumbled, and it was all over the flooring. There was no flooring. The seats were broken, and many things were living inside the theater.
Yeah, I remember when Mike Turpin and I walked in this building, 5 or 6 years ago, and we both looked at each other and said, gee, this is going to be hard.
But we got so excited. We thought this could really be something for us, and we could be a year-round theater.
Lou Kerr had the vision, and it was our job to put landing gears on her vision.
But there was no money in the bank to cover the $10 million price tag. Mike Turpin led the fundraising appeal.
And I would say education. We're going to teach young people how to break the silence of a room with the sound of their voice. We're going to help young people find their own unique voice in life. And we're thinking, and doesn't just help them on Broadway or in LA. Most of them won't ever go there. But it's going to help them the very next day in the classroom, the boardroom, the courtroom someday. Education. History, a 1935 movie theater, we're going to save it from the wrecker ball.
And they did. Oklahoma City's first air-conditioned movie theater is now Lyric at the Plaza, a totally modernized performance site with the feel of a beloved classic.
Oh, it's amazing, and people that actually come into town love seeing this facility because it's modern, the equipment is top-notch, the acoustics are perfect. You have these lovely brick walls, so it's almost like you're singing in the shower. It's that good.
Lyric transformed into a year-round organization as opposed to just a summer stock theater, which is something that many theaters around the country can't do. To own your own venue, that's a big deal. And to be able to manage your own venue is an even bigger deal.
And the presence of Lyric Theater has transformed the Plaza District into a dynamic new cultural destination with an edgy vibe. And the theater has fulfilled its promise to develop and nurture the youth of Oklahoma City through establishment of the Thelma Gaylord Academy.
And you learn responsibility on how people put their trust in you, and you have to learn things and by like a deadline, and you certainly learn a lot of qualities and characteristics that people like to see in an everyday person.
These kids get to play with these professionals. They get to play with this talent. They get to experience what it's like. That's the biggest impact that I believe that a theater like Lyric can even present to a community.
The kids that have gone through Lyric have been life transformations, so that's a big deal. And then to convert a neighborhood from something where no one wanted to come to something where everybody wants to come is a big deal.
Now, as Lyric Theater celebrates its golden anniversary, it's entertaining audiences year-round, developing Oklahoma's youth, and bolstering Oklahoma City's national reputation as a first-class place to live.
And that education, neighborhood transformation, and being able to provide really quality cultural entertainment in a community like Oklahoma City, yes, all those things are pretty cool.
We've been recognized all over the country as being the best at what we do. The best of Broadway off of Broadway, the USA Today, you saw the story. But I'm real proud of that we're recognized all over the country.
The environment here is so special and so sweet and cultivating, and it feels like home, you know, and there's no better way to sort of cultivate creativity than in a space that's like that.
And to grow consistently for 50 years and to have the support of the city and the community and the support of the talent, the creative people here, I think is absolutely phenomenal, and you should be so proud of yourself. And those of us in New York are anxious to come down here and work and share that pride with you. So thank you and congratulations.
Bravo!
Bravo! Happy birthday, Lyric Theater. Congratulations.